Mark. I'm at the Ramapo State Forest trailhead. I'm on the Blue Trail right now, and I just got up a little incline over here, and behind me you'll see a nice stream flowing down. It's beautiful. It's about 32 degrees when I started. The sun came out. It's about 40 degrees or so right now. So we're going to check this trail out today. I have my pack on, as you can see, trying to get training. The uphills are tough right now, but that's okay. It's all part of the process. One step in front of the other. Okay, we'll check in a little bit. Well, I stopped here, so I want to show you some of the rock outcrop here. You can see how looks like this boulder probably millions of years ago fell off that clump, and looks like it might even be a small cave on the inside there. So it's really cool. A lot of rock outcrops and big boulders to have fun on. So really neat area. Okay, so folks, met a nice gentleman, Bob, 70 years old. Made me look like a cripple, but he hiked this to the top here, and what you see behind me here is Ramapo Lake. I think the trail, this is the dam, and you can see the outflow over here. But sun's come out, clouds are parting, so it's a beautiful day. But this is the lake, Ramapo Lake. Beautiful, really quiet. It would be a really nice and cool, so you get a nice breeze here in the summer, I imagine. So it's really nice. And I'm going to try to go around the trail and around the lake. And then I think up that way is some ruins and a tower. So we're going to try to check that out next. At some point I'll try to have some lunch. I have brought some soup, which I'll heat up. Some water, and I'll do a little more hiking before we have that. So over and out till we get to the other side of the lake. Okay, so nice hikers and their dog just told me that on the other side of the lake, up there on the hill, not this beige house, but up on the top of the hill over there, I hope you can see it, are the ruins. So I think what we'll do is we'll make it around the lake, find a spot for lunch, and then hike up to the ruins. But we are on the right course. A lot of different trails: red trail, yellow trail, blue trail. So it's easy to get the trails mixed up, especially for me with no sense of direction. But I have the map, and I'm learning my way around. But turning out to be a cool but beautiful day. All right, so next stop, possibly the lunch. Well, I've reached the other side of the lake. I think this was the rock outcrop that I saw from the other side, which looks pretty nice. So I'm debating whether to have lunch on the top of those rocks or climb out to over there, or just keep going to the other side and see what that side offers. I think the sun would be facing over there, so it might be a little warmer over there, but a beautiful spot. It would be a really nice spot to camp or have a lunch. And those rocks down there, it's even prettier. You can see the path. Really nice. This is where it came from. This is a little path off of the main loop around the lake. So I'm going to pretty much debate what I want to do, and we'll see who wins. Well, I'm still making my way around the lake, but I wanted to stop here because hopefully you can see this with the camera. But I wanted to show you this rock because there you have the granite, and then right here you see it almost looks like the rock is rusted, and it's all the way down, and the strata you can see it goes brown, from gray to brown to a dark, almost a reddish or copper color, and you can see a piece of it, and it almost looks like there's iron, steel or something rusting in here, and that's actually the iron deposits in the rocks in this area. The highlands of New Jersey used to be noted for their iron content, and in the 1700s and early 1800s this area had a lot of mines. There is a mine somewhere on this trail. I don't know if we're going to see it today, but there's a number of mines that have been closed, and most of them are flooded. But these are old iron mines, and the iron would be transported down to the river and shipped off for processing. And so northern New Jersey was known, this area in particular was known for its ironworks and the rock formations in the mines. So it was highly prized in the late 1700s and early 1800s, and a lot of the Dutch settlers came here for mining purposes. But that's a good example. Hopefully you can see it. I was looking for a good example to show you, and I think that's the best type. Again, if I move over here, you can see the fingers of the lake are coming out here, and there's a big rock outcrop over here. So I'm thinking we're going to turn around to the right and then start making our way back on that ridge line, and then eventually back on the other side to those ruins that we saw. So we're going to continue on our trek. I wanted to show you, you can see on the side of the tree here is the last vestiges of snow. We had probably a dusting to 2 inches of snow earlier this week, and it's still cold enough to keep the snow from totally melting. And I don't know if this might be a hickory, shagrag hickory tree, but anyway, that might be the last vestiges of snow for 2016, at least this winter. And also over here, someone decided to make a primitive shelter, and it looks like it may have been a little Boy Scout project, or somebody may have been needing shelter while they were doing the trail, especially during the blizzard from a couple weeks ago. I'm not sure how good that would protect you, but might keep the wind off at least somewhat. Anyway, a couple of interesting things, and then of course there's a giant boulder on that side. I would have probably made something over there, but anyway, continuing on. Okay, I've made a decision. Instead of taking the trail goes around the lake that way, I'm going to take the Cannonball Trail, which is the red trail, and it goes all around and eventually makes its way to the white trail, which will go up to the ruins. So it's probably about 1:30, and I'm going to try that. I think there's enough light for me to make it all the way around and back to the car. But let's see how the Cannonball Trail works out. Still a beautiful area. You can't believe you're in New Jersey. I can hear the distant roar of the traffic from probably 287, but it's really nice for New Jersey. Well, hello. I managed to have lunch at a nice outcrop of rocks down there with a number of hikers from the North Jersey ski club. But since there's no snow, they are hiking. And it turns out I met a guy who went to St. Aidan's grammar school, grew up in Jersey City about a block away from me. And he's 2 years older than I am. He went to Dickinson High School. And turned out he grew up in the same neighborhood. So small world. Anyway, we're ascending where the ruins are. And just going to give you the view from up here. How you doing?
Hi.
Beautiful day.
Wonderful.
So this is where we have to go still. And this is the view from on top here. And over here you can see the lake that we went around and I showed you earlier. So I could zoom in on that and show you the mountains in the background. So it's a beautiful hike, really beautiful. And so on top the view is probably even more spectacular. So we'll catch you on top and we'll see some ruins. Do this. You never know what you're going to see.
Yeah.
And here is a parrot.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
On the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
In New Jersey.
In a beautiful day. Yeah. All right. You got
All right.
it. Very good.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, I wanted to show you New York City because it's clear enough right now that you could see New York City in the distance. So we're about, what, 30, 40 miles away from New York City, and you can see it from here. Unbelievable. And there's the lake. And there's the guy with the parrot, the hiking parrot. New York City is not far away. Well, we're finally near the top. This is the remains of the mansion. The ruins was built in the early 1900s. I think there was abandoned 1910. Apparently the property was sold to the children of the estate, but there was a divorce and property was abandoned and eventually was a fire that destroyed most of it. But you can see the view from this way. It's even better now from up here, and you can see the tower, water tower. You can see the stone wall that they built around here. But we'll take a walk towards the ruins, and you can see a cut rock, a chimney still standing. Looks like it's pretty much abandoned, but what a view. This time of the year is spectacular because the leaves aren't filled in, but looks like you can see the boiler and the skeleton of the house, the pipes. This must have been the basement. Looks like it was coal or wood power, wood heat or coal heating. It's a fireplace. Another fireplace on this side. Doesn't look like it's too safe, but it stood all this time. Could you imagine they brought all the rocks up to build this and the bricks? Pretty wild. I'd like to read more on the history of this building. I'm sure it's a lot of heartbreak, but really neat. It goes all the way around. Supposedly there's a swimming pool, or what's left of it, on the other side. You can tell this must have been a stone wall of some sort, or maybe a veranda. And you can still see the steel beams going across. And you can see where the fire hit some of the timbers. But the steel is still in place. Amazing. And there's some more remnants of the fire. Those big timbers up there are all charred. But how'd they get the steel up here? It's amazing. Imagine the roads were a little better in those days. And the trail just winds around. Looks like another part of it come out here. You see pretty much the same thing. Beautiful stone walls. It's a little colder side of the mountain in the shade, and the path continues. Looking back at it.
The actual story of the castle was that in 1910, William Porter, a New York stock broker, purchased the property overlooking the Ramapo Lake, and he decided to build a stone home and call it Foxcroft. A year later, however, the story takes a tragic turn when Mr. Porter, after a weekend of partying at the home with other brokers, was killed in an automobile crash Monday morning on his way back to New York City. Porter left behind his wife, Ruth Hollowell Porter, and 2 children from her previous marriage. Ruth was on board the Lusitania at the time of her husband's death, and did not return, didn't learn of it until returning home to New York. 2 years later, Ruth was engaged and married to a Manhattan lawyer named William Van Slyke. Ruth and Warren lived in the high life in the upper social circles of their day, but tragedy struck again when, in 1925, Mr. Warren died from complications of a gallstone operation. Widowed for the 3rd time, Ruth did not remarry.
This is the
She died at Foxcroft in
water tower. Apparently they
After her
constructed
death,
it
the home was bought
the
by
same
a couple who abandoned it in the midst
same
of
style as the house.
And in
He made it like a
1959,
castle
the
with
vandals
stone.
burned the building.
So we're gonna go up to that next. The trail leads this way, and we'll make our way up. Take a look at the tower. Why they built it here? It's on the peak, and if you look down right here, you see the water pipe, which is going down to the house on the other side. So I guess they use gravity to get the water down. Pretty neat. So here we are. It's the top of the mountain with the tower. And from here, I think that's the Wanacue Reservoir. You can see the distance there. Just absolutely beautiful. It's a 370. New York is over there somewhere. So, see if there's an entrance to it. See, there's some snow on the other side. It's obviously the cold side, and there's the pipes coming out. There's the trail going over to that side. It's another outcropping. And here's the door. And I guess you can't go in. So here's the tower. Now, pretty neat. All hand-fitted stone. All the way up to the top. I don't trust the top that well, so pretty neat. It's wood on the top. Look like some pulley system or cable. Wood frame windows. And I don't know what's in here. This is some sort of flooring. I'm not exactly sure how this worked, but this is the view from the door. This is the top spot. You can see where I am. I'm on a little outcrop on the top here. I'll show you a 360-degree view. That looks like the Wanacue Reservoir. And I guess this is a good view since there's no leaves up right now. New York is that way. See the mountains of New Jersey. You can see why they call it the Northern Highlands, New Jersey. Ramapo Mountains. Somebody tried to build a campfire on top of this little ledge. It's really nice. Have I said that enough? And the trail continues down here. You see the works blazes. So we'll go down there and figure it out. I came down off the mountain and I'm really thirsty. We're going to make an ascent up to that hill and I need some cold water. So, a nice brook here. I'm going to use my filter for the first time. I filled up my water bottle and I'm going to use the filter to drink some. Well, hi. My camera battery went dead yesterday at the end of the trail, so I wanted to finish up the video hike by just filling in what we missed. The end of the hike, at the very end, I think you saw I was filling up my water bottle with a really nice cool stream using my Sawyer filter. I used it as a straw. It worked beautifully. The water was really refreshing and was just what my body needed at that point. The sun started to come down. I had about an hour left of sunlight, so I skedaddled out of there. Came out on the White Trail back to Skyline Drive, which is where I started. And I guess I missed the turnoff for the Red Trail, the Cannonball Trail, to go back down to the parking lot for the Ramapo Reservation or Ramapo State Forest parking lot that I had parked in. So I wound up walking along Skyline Drive a little bit, which I do not recommend. It was disgusting. There was so much trash and small empty liquor bottles scattered throughout the side of the road. Plus the road is very winding and it was pretty dangerous, so I turned my cap inside out to get the fluorescent color so I could be seen. And then I did get back on the trail a bit when I found it later on and came out in the parking lot. So all in all, it was a long day, but it was very tiring. But it was a beautiful hike. I'm a little sore today, but I pushed myself exactly what I wanted to do, and really enjoyed the day. Met some really nice people. Ken, who's the guy that I spoke about, that I had met and that lived in Jersey City and went to the same grammar school as I did, sent me some pictures. I'll post those in the video as well. I highly recommend the hike that I took at the Ramapo State Forest, and that's about it. So thanks. I know this was my first video, so I know I did a lot of things wrong, but hope you'll excuse it, and hopefully I'll get a little bit better at this as we go on. Thanks. Bye.